Good morning. Hi, this is Debbie. I'm going to make quinoa and tacos, ground turkey tacos today. I pretty much make that every week, and I keep it in the fridge and use it for different things during the week. So here we go. First I'm going to put it down here. Got a strainer. I'm going to use quinoa, and it takes 1 cup. And some of the quinoa you buy is already rinsed. I think this one is, but I still rinse it even if it isn't. It takes 1 cup. It's really easy to make. I only started eating it a couple years ago. Anyway, you put it in your strainer. Oops. Let's see if this one says. So this one already says rinsed and washed, but some of them you buy are not. So usually if it isn't rinsed and washed, there'll be a lot of bubbles when you go to rinse it. So just run it through the water. Really loud. As you can see, this one is rinsed already. If it wasn't rinsed, like I said, there'd be a lot more bubbles and stuff. So since that is rinsed, we won't rinse it too long. Just let it drain a little bit. I usually just set it in a cup till later. And let me turn it this way to the stove. So I have the ground turkey, and there's different amounts of fat in this. So this one says 90% lean. This is and I think there's one that's 93, and I never know. I just pick up one. It's just, some have more grease you have to pour off when you're done. So I just cut it open. Put this over there to wash. There's salmon. And I don't like to touch the meat, so this works out great. I don't like to touch anything with the bones. And I have a spatula. I do touch it just to cut it into pieces. But I have my new spatula I'm going to try for cooking it. Probably could use it for this. Just cut it little pieces there. Am I on the camera? And if you hear the noise, it's my husband's oxygen machine. He's still sleeping. So, okay, get that in there. Yuck, I don't like the feel of that on my fingers. Okay, so I got that. I'll just turn this on. I usually set it to 7, right in the middle. Then I can put the quinoa away. I keep it in this, I got this nice canister. It was a freebie from one of the casinos, and I keep rice and quinoa in there. And sometimes this is white quinoa. It's all the same color. And sometimes I get one that's got different colors of grains, and I notice with that one you use a little bit less water. So anyways, you can see the quinoa is sitting here. So while that's starting, I usually use 1 cup, 1 3/4 cups for my quinoa. I know that the package says 2, but it ends up too watery. So I mean, it's the easiest thing to make. I just put that on high and set that aside. I'm going to get my taco mix ready. I just use this kind from Walmart. It's 33 cents, and it's pretty good. I've had the other ones. I don't think they're any better. I actually think this one is better. And then I need 3/4 cup of water for that. Set that there, and you just Here's the new thing I got from Ace Hardware, but people have commented that they found this at Dollar Tree. I searched, I never could find it. Oh, that's much nicer. Because normally I would use this to cut, break up the meat, but this cutter is really nice. Great. You just let that cook for a little bit. I'll turn that off and I'll be right back when it's cooked a little bit more. Okay, is that rolling? Okay. Let's see, turn it a little bit more this way. Looks like you're looking at just my legs and my body. Okay. Okay, you can see it's kind of boiling under there. So I kind of flip it all over, get the brown side. I do tend to make a mess. That cutter really works great. Probably need 2 spoon rest. I believe it was Donna at Donna Boxes that I first saw this cutter. I was like, oh, I could use that. Yeah, 'cause sometimes the ends doesn't want to cut, and using that's not very sharp. You can see I used to have to pile this on top just to be able to get through it. Set that down now. Okay. So that's cooking, and the water is getting almost boiling. I need a hair clip. My hair starts falling in my face. Now the refrigerator, I guess, wants to make some noise. But I make this. My husband doesn't eat it. He eats a lot of weird things. I eat pretty much. I like to eat the same things. I make my salmon, which I have 1 piece left in the fridge, and I have some chicken breast that I like to bake. And I make, oh, now we have the lawn people outside, so there comes the blower. I have all the windows shut so it won't be too loud. Okay, the water's boiling there for the quinoa. So just add, I usually do it over the sink because I tend to splash it. So. Yeah, like I just did. As you can see, I splashed some quinoa on there. Get that off of there. And just put it on there. This is probably I just kind of wait till that starts boiling through. You set that to simmer, and then set the timer for 15 minutes. Oops. Cover that and let it be. And that's all it takes for the quinoa. 15 minutes, that'll be done. This is looking quite good here. I am loving this cutter. Much easier. I mean, not that it wasn't easy before, but this is really easy. And I also make, sometimes I make biscuits and gravy. And I use that Jimmy Dean sausage that comes in a tube just like this, and I do the same thing with cutting it up while I'm cooking it to add to the gravy. Okay, so that's just about done. To make sure it's cooked well. And then I saved tuna cans and cat food cans, and that's what I use for the grease. So I don't pour it down the sink. So that's done. Turn that off. Back over to the sink. It works out pretty good. Set that in the strainer. Let's see. And I just drain the oil off into the can. Try not to drop the turkey into the sink. I've done that before. It's kind of heavy. Now see, this is the 90%, and there's quite a bit more greasy stuff coming out. When you use the 93, you don't get quite as much Okay. Take that. Oh, I guess there's some grease on the bottom. Let's make a little splash. So I'll try to get back over here without pulling the camera off the shelf. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Okay. You add your water. You add your taco. Put it back up to 7 there. Use this one. Mix it up in here. I mean, this is like the easiest thing. I make it, like I said, every week, and I put it in little tubs, keep it in the fridge. There comes lawnmower. We have the HOA pays for the lawn service and everything. And now that it's winter time, they're just coming every other week. So I should have probably made this last week for the camera. I had made it with just some pictures and a few videos, and I put it on Facebook's Life with Mike's, what's it called, Chef Mike's Cooking Club or something like that. He puts a lot of videos and pictures of food on there from people post. You get a lot of good recipes, so that's a good thing. So if you like cooking, you check out, I'll have to put a link for that. I can't think of it. I know it's Chef Mike something. And his wife has one doing coloring. Okay, so there. Now you just put it to simmer and let it simmer for 5 minutes. I usually let it go until the timer runs out on the quinoa, and then they're both done. So I'll be back when they are done. Okay, I just wanted to show you what I do with this oil. I take the, it's usually kind of hot. I set it up on, you probably can't see it there. It's over there. Okay, and I just take a couple paper towels, or one paper towel. I guess there's just one. This is the last one on this roll. Not really. And just stick that in there and let that sit, and then that walked right out of my slipper. And then when that's cooled down a bit, I put it in a baggie and I throw it in the trash that way. So that's how we get rid of that. Okay, the taco stuff looks pretty done, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the container. I get this envelope down there in the container. Probably should do this over the sink too, because I tend to make it fall out of the pan. I think this is just old container from lunch meat. My husband eats lunch meat sometimes. Let's save that. These work just fine for this. I have a couple sets of plastic ones that I use, which I use for the quinoa. I just put it in there, and then it's hot. Just hot. And I just let it cool for a little bit. And then I put it in the fridge, and then I have that, and I use, let's see, I use these little Extreme Wellness high fiber tortillas, and sometimes I'll put that in there with some cheese, wrap them up, and I just microwave that up and make little burritos or tacos, I guess you'd call them. Sometimes I use black beans in with them in this. And then the main thing I do is I'll put it on top of the quinoa. I'll put it in a bowl, put the quinoa in there, and put some taco meat in there. Microwave that up because it's all cold because it's in the fridge. And then I put taco sauce, and I cut up little tomatoes and put that in there. And sometimes I add cheese, I don't always. But when you mix up the quinoa and the taco, you can hardly tell which is which, but it tastes really good. So that's what I do, and I eat that a lot. And then I like steamed vegetables. I like Brussels sprouts are my favorite. And so that's what I do, and that's what I eat most of the time. Plus my salmon, but it's kind of sad now eating the salmon. I think I got one piece left. last batch, and I have the recipe for that, or there's the last little piece of salmon. And just keep that in there. But now, since my little Biddy has passed away, she would always come around and when I had salmon, and it's kind of sad that she doesn't come, because the other kitty, Pippa, doesn't care for salmon. She's like my husband, he doesn't like salmon, but Biddy loved it, and she would always come around with her little nose wanting her salmon. So anyway, that's that. So I don't want to get sad. Okay, the quinoa is ready, so you see how that comes out just perfectly. And let me get it where you can see. It just turns out perfect. Whoops, I don't want to use this because I might scratch. Get my I wash all this stuff while this is cooking, so it's the easiest thing. I make it, like I said, every week pretty much. Husband doesn't eat any of it. He tried it once. He liked it, but he doesn't. He said he liked it. He hasn't really eaten it much since then, so I'd say he didn't love it. I think he doesn't like it's turkey, but you can't really tell the difference between the turkey and the quinoa. So, but he eats some weird stuff, and maybe I'll put some pictures on there of some of the bowls of food that he makes, because I'll send pictures to my daughter and say, here's what Mike's having today. So anyway, let that cool before I put it in the fridge. Let's see. I was going to tell you one other thing. Taco salad, it works really good in the summer. Mostly I have it on, I'll put lettuce, and just like a taco bowl, but just make it like a taco. You can add chips to it too. I just buy regular taco shells and crunch them up, because that works out well, but they don't really need it. You can just have it on the lettuce with the taco and the taco sauce. I ordered this from Walmart. This brand of taco sauce, La Victoria Red taco sauce. This is mild. I've had medium and mild, but this is the one I like, so I ordered that. Can't find it in the stores. When we lived in Vegas, they have Macayo's restaurants, so in the stores you can find Macayo's taco sauce, but can't find it back here in Florida. So this is the next alternative to it. So anyway, I think that's all I wanted to show you. So have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I wanted to mention another, I mentioned Life with Mike is, I guess it's not up high enough, his cooking channel, or what would you call it? Cooking group on Facebook. But there's also another Mike that Cheryl from Sharon Charlie's Personal Crafts told me about, or told everyone about, not just me, but it's Mike's Cooking Studio, and he's a really nice guy, and he has a channel, Mike's Cooking Studio, so look him up. He does a lot of cooking videos, and he uses a little pot like I have, which, well, I don't know, this is the same thing he's got. I don't know what he called it. It's just a little rice cooking pot, but he just cooks sloppy joes in it. I just watched that video, and I was like, oh, that's the same pot I have, so that's something I'm going to try. But anyway, he's a newer channel, I believe, and he does karaoke and he does cooking, so you might want to check out his channel. And also Life with Mike's, two cooker Mikes, and Mike's channel. He does walks and cooking and tablet time, and he has a little cat and does kitty jokes. So check out those channels, and I'll put links below. Thank you. Bye.